Hello friends, today we will going to discuss one more topic, that is types and methods of research. When we are telling about the research methodology, important things are the basic thing which is required in the research is the type of research or the method of research we are conducting. We are having a broad idea but don't know what is the type of research we are doing with respect to that idea. So today we will see how many types of are the methods of research are there in a social science or in extension that we will going to discuss in today's session. So basically when we are telling about the research method, the most important method is the fundamental research. This fundamental research is conducted mainly to have a knowledge about it rather than finding the solution for a problem. That is nothing but the fundamental research is to know. For example, if I go to a village, if I want to know how many are literate, how many are illiterate, I'll going to conduct a fundamental research. But I won't give any solution to the problem. What is the cause of illiteracy and how it could be overcome will not be done. Here, I'll going to find out how many people are literate, how many are illiterate, or how many of the literate people falls under different age category. That is just to have a knowledge. This fundamental research is conducted. Next comes is the applied or the practical research. This applied and practical research is mainly gathering the knowledge. Along with that, they are going to use this knowledge for the betterment of human life or the people in the particular area. These research are dependent research. That means they are dependent on certain factors, or they are dependent on certain criteria. That is, applied or practical research are dependent on certain factors or the criteria. That is nothing but here I am going to find out the literacy percentage of the people in a village, and based on the literacy percentage I am going to push the technology which is useful for them and they could able to understand. That is what I am using the source of knowledge for the betterment of human life in a particular community or in a particular area. And the next comes is the adaptive research. The adaptive research is nothing but the research which is conducted in a particular situation where people are live or work. It is known as a on-farm research. That is nothing but I'll go to your office and I'll ask the people, what is the work pressure you are having? That means people are there in an office, are working for a particular institution, and I'll go and interview them. What is the work pressure they are having? What is the job satisfaction they are getting? And what is the job opportunities they are having in a particular institution will be asked in a particular situation. And if you go to a agriculture area, if I want to conduct adaptive research, I'll go to a farmer and visit their farm and I'll ask them what are the water management practices they are adopting for the efficient and effective utilization of the water in a farm. That is what is called as adaptive research. Means I am conducting the research in a practical situation in presence of a people who are living or working in a particular situation. And the next comes is the action research. The name itself indicates that the action research is mainly aims at better insight into the problem. It is mainly learned by experience gained in attempting to solve a particular problem. For example, if you are having some health issues, let us take a joint pain. If I ask any person how you are having a joint pain, they may use lot of remedial measures to overcome that joint pain. In some of the cases, they may feel that this technique is very good for overcoming the joint pain. Maybe they'll tell that go for a walk, or you have to use the hot water, dipping of the leg in a hot water for half an hour, or using some ointment, using some oil, or going for a massage. All these things are the different measures to overcome the joint pain. But while solving that problem, they might have come out with lot of permutation and combination options to solve that problem. And this experience will give them to give a specific solution for a particular problem. Here, in agriculture, we can say that the managing the rodents or managing the squirrels. You may be knowing that there are a lot of ITKs. That is due to solving a problem of rodents or solving the problem of squirrels, they have come out with a lot of solution. That solution might have been effective or efficient in overcoming that. Here in action research, we are involving the local people in deciding about the objectives. When I want to conduct some certain research about the rodent management, I will ask some few people what could be done research on that, and based on their opinion, I'll come out with the objectives of this research. And this action research is worked out by the local people, and at last evaluation is done to find out the constraints and suggestions. Usually the action research is carried out by the local people only rather than us, and based on their own experience we are finding out the constraints and we are coming out with the suggestions to overcome those constraints. And the next comes is the research designs. There are different types of research designs. The first one is exploratory research. The exploratory research is the one which is used to called as a pilot study. That means this is the research conducted before conducting the actual huge investigation. For example, watershed management. Previously, the watershed development is a very good project. Before implementing in a larger area, this watershed development structures or the project was conducted in a pilot basis in some dryland areas. Once they found that this project is successful, then it has been extended to larger area. That is what is called as exploratory research. For example, the contract farming. The contract farming is a great venture, and they have conducted exploratory research that how a contract farming is useful for small and a marginal farmer, and how it is helpful for the farmers to get a better returns. This is just they are exploring the things. Based on the exploration or based on getting the knowledge or familiarity with the subject, they will going to get a new insight into the problem which is existing there. And based on that, they are formulating a precise research, or a specific research has to be conducted in a specific area. That is what is called as exploratory research. Here in the exploratory research, there won't be any variables. We don't know the variables, whether we are studying the knowledge, whether we are studying the adoption, whether we are studying the impact, that won't be there. They will going to just explore the things, get the knowledge, and after getting the knowledge, they will going to conduct a precise research with known variables rather than unknown variables. And the next comes is the descriptive research design. The descriptive research design, it is a sort of fact-finding operation. And here there will be adequate interpretation. That means we are going to say the status with that operation. Means after doing this, what has happened. Here, the characteristics of a status is mainly depends upon a situation. For example, I am recommending a IFS practices for the farmer, and what has happened due to the adoption of IFS practices in a particular situation. Maybe with a 1 acre land holding with dry land, 1 acre land holding with assured irrigation. Like that, here the variables are assumed to be known. That we are deciding that the variables are known to us, and based on that we are going to conduct the research. Here we are having adequate samples to do this descriptive research. That means if I am recommended the IFS practices for the dryland farmers, more than 100 farmers, I'm going to sample only 20 farmers and go to them. I always think that if the variables are assumed, means here I feel that their socioeconomic status has been increased. That means I assume that that has impacted on their status. And based on that, I'm going to conduct the research to know that how much this has been influenced in changing their socioeconomic status. And the next comes is the analytical research. The name itself indicates it is analytical research is to analyze. That means it is it involves a critical thinking skill, and it mainly involves the evaluation of facts and information which is relevant to the research which has been conducted previously. It is nothing but I have assumed that, as in case of IFS, I assume that has been impacted on improving the socio-economic status of the people. But actually it may not be there. So that will be evaluated through this analytical study. Here we are going to discover and test certain variables, whether they are associated or not. I may say that the farmers with 1 acre land with assured irrigation might have been able to improve their socioeconomic status compared to a farmer with a dry land situation. That means here I am finding out the relationship between the two variables, and based on evaluation, I will going to indicate what are the variables influencing on the development or socioeconomic development of the people. It is mainly involved, the analytical research mainly involves the analysis of data, and it is going to examine the relationship between the various variables or the factors in a different angle to bring that which are the variables which are relevant to this and which are the variables which are that are influencing on improving a particular situation. That is what is the analytical study. And the next comes is the diagnostic research. The diagnostic is a familiar word for us. As soon as we go to a doctor, doctor will diagnose us what is the problem with us, and he will give a medicine. Same thing we are doing in this research. Here we will know about the root cause of the problem. That means the diagnostic research will be conducted mainly to know what is the major cause for a particular problem. That means it describes the factors which are responsible for this problematic situation, and it is mainly conducted mainly to solve the problem in a specific situation. For example, the cholera in arecanut. The cholera in arecanut is not a present problem. This is a problem from years together. And they are conducting a research on that in a younger stage. Based on this diagnostic research, they have come out that in a younger stage, when the plants are 3 to 4 years, the cholera is caused by the bacteria rather than fungus. But when the plant reaches to the bearing, maybe 7-8 years, and that is mainly due to the fungal attack, where we go for Bordeaux application. Whereas in a younger stage, if you go for applying the Bordeaux paste or the Bordeaux mixture, that may not suffice the requirement. It may control, but not to the greater extent, because the causal agent is bacteria rather than a fungus. So we have to go for bactericide rather than the fungicide. This is what is conducted in a diagnostic research. What is the root cause for the problem? And here the major we will going to consist, the diagnostic research mainly consists of knowing the emergence of the problem, and based on that emerging problem, they will going to diagnose the problem. Based on the diagnosis, they'll come out with the solution for the problem, and they'll give suggestion how this problem could be overcome and how this solution could be adopted. This helps us to find out the relationship between the cause and the effect. That is nothing but this is the cause and this is the effect, and based on that, I'm giving a suggestions to overcome that effect will be done in a diagnostic research. And the next comes is the historical research. The name itself indicates that we are going to study about the historical event to know about what is the impact in a present situation. The historical method of research design is mainly concerned with investigating the record and interpreting the past event as a means of seeing the present in perspective. That is nothing but we are saying that previously they used to do drainage in a arecanut garden. You may be knowing that each alternate rows used to have a drainage in a arecanut garden. That is what is done from traditional system. That means years before. But when the non-traditional areas are covered by arecanut, they stopped making these drainage facilities, and instead of that, they started applying this what we can silt soils from the lake and pond. And that has covered the arecanut, and that leads to a problem like hidimundige, yellow leaf diseases, which are all experienced now after so many years. But whereas in a traditional garden, still we could not able to find this hidimundige and all, because they followed the drainage system of cultivation. Or nowadays it has come the trench system of arecanut cultivation. Okay, this is what we are studying. In the previous years, or when the traditional system of areca cultivation was there was a drainage. But in the present, same areca was cultivated, even though with a drainage, they used to face a lot of problem. That will be studied through this historical method of research. This historical research, in which the researcher seeks to test the authenticity of the reports or the practices followed are made in the previous years. That is the past occurrence to determine the cause and effect. I have told about the positive impact. Same way, there may be a negative impact also is there. So nowadays, many times the scientists are recommended that you go for drainage in Arakanat, especially in a heavy region or irrigated belt. The drainage is must compared to the dryland area. Otherwise, the aeration is a problem. Poor root growth, the plant will going to die. This is what is the historical type they are going to conduct the research. And the next comes is the experimental method. You know that the experiments are conducted in the lab. So how it is suitable for our social science research? The experimental method is also used in a social science research. It is also similarly that of the investigation which is done in a laboratory. Here we are going to conduct the research in such a way that to know the relationship between the controlled conditions and other simple or identifying conditions which is underlying to occurs for a given phenomena. The experimental research will going to provide us a systematic and logical method of answering the question. The good example I want to give in experimental method is, especially with respect to social sciences, in training. When we are conducting a training, we used to say that their knowledge or the capacity has been built among the farmers and they can do better compared to the non-trained farmers. But we can conduct a experimental technique where we used to keep training as a control and comparing that with the training along with the field visit. That is the second treatment we are giving, and training, field visit along with the literature. And the next one is training, field visit, literature, and the demonstration which is done practically by the farmers. What is the level of knowledge has been increased or improved in these techniques, as the T1, T0 is a training which is controlled, T1 is along with the field visit, T2 is field visit along with the literature, T4 is the training, field visits, literature along with the practical experience. This is how we are conducting experimental method in social science research. And the next comes is the evaluation research. The evaluation research is mainly used to determine the impact of a particular intervention. For example, we have introduced the IFS technique, or I have introduced the enterprise component along with the crop. Then I want to study what is the impact on that. Maybe in the resource utilization, maybe in the social aspects, maybe in the economic aspects, maybe in terms of their knowledge, social recognition, whatever it may be. That is what I want to evaluate. Or maybe I have introduced some hybrid varieties to a farmer. When compared to the previous variety, how much this hybrid variety has impacted in yield, with respect to yield, with respect to profitability, in usage of labor, in usage of fertilizer, that will be evaluated. That is done through this research. See, this evaluation research is mainly involved in analyzing the impact of a particular program on a certain social problems. Here, this evaluation research is mainly used to evaluate the need assessment. What is the need of a people? See, evaluation research is conducted to know about the farmer, what is actually needed for them, whether on variety, whether on the agronomical aspects, whether on pest and disease control, whether on the marketing aspects. That need assessment will be done through this evaluation. Next is the cost benefit studies, what I have told, the socio-economic impact. And the next one is comes in the monitoring studies. Monitoring studies is mainly with respect to resource utilization, labor utilization, management, how efficiently they could able to manage will be done through this evaluation research. The evaluation research is mainly done to know about the impact and mainly to give the suggestion for the improvement of future research and to seek the support from other, gather the information how the new technology or the intervention is working and to determine the suitability of that particular approach. And the next comes is the survey method. This is very extensively used in the social science research. The majorly used method of research is survey method. In a survey method, it is mainly applied for varieties of investigations such as classical poverty survey. And here, the survey is done along with the descriptive or a diagnostic method. Here, they will going to examine the nature of relationship between among the demographic characteristics. And usually in a survey method, they used to cover a large representative sample. We won't do with 10, 20 or 100. They may cover thousands, 500 like that. The huge population is covered under a survey method. And in survey method, it includes the information on necessary matching characteristics, such as they will going to think about how their age is influencing on their knowledge, how an education is influencing on their knowledge, how a scientific orientation of a person will going to influence on his knowledge about a improved cultivation practices. That will be studied through this survey method. And the next comes is the case study research. The case study research is mainly use a social unit as a whole. And they will going to study a one unit as a whole, and whole research is conducted on a specific social unit. Here, the development of a unit may be a person, maybe a family, or maybe a social group, or an institution, or progressive village, or a panchayat. That means the unit may be an individual person, or an institution, or a village, or a panchayat. Here, the resources and techniques of historical study and other techniques connected with the other research methods are used to examine the data and phenomena. In a case study, I will going to give a good example is one of a farmer is successful by following a organic agriculture or organic farming. And I will visit his farm who has followed the organic farming and become very successful, and he has improved his socio-economic status, and I will going to treat him as a social unit or unit of my research. And I will going to study each and everything about that farmer before, after, and each and every unit I will going to study and how much it has been impacted through this case study. And these are the important methods we are using in a social science research, which plays an important role. When we are applying a different research method, it depends upon the study, it depends upon the situation, and depend upon what I want to study will going to influence on us to select a research method. So my suggestion is you should select a research method based on your research rather than you decide a research, then you select any method will not suffice your requirement. I hope this has given you a first-hand information about how you have to select a research method. Thank you so much.